I think John Jay offers a unique environment for students to learn. For students that are interested in learning about issues related to justice in general, the faculty here, everyone is doing research related to justice somehow, and that creates a faculty environment but also a student environment that is very enriching in that way. It's exciting because you hear people doing research in very different areas and covering very different topics, but always with the element of justice there. My name is Veronica Michel. I'm a political scientist. In my research, at least in Latin America, I focus on how legal rights impact access to justice, and that may shape how actually the judicial system works. So countries that are transitioning from democracy, from autocracy to democracy, face this question of what do we do with former state officials that committed these horrible crimes, torture, extrajudicial killing, those type of crimes. And most of the times we see states that are a little reluctant to prosecute. Victims want their own courts to do something about it, to get justice, local justice. And it is in these cases where having legal rights for victims can actually make a difference. The type of legal rights that are written in the law can open up possibilities. I'm originally from Mexico, so I was always interested in learning about how some countries look good in terms of human rights, like what happens that in a country you have stability, security, human rights are respected. Well, no country is perfect. I knew that when I was an undergrad, but I was always curious about the differences in what are the conditions, the structural conditions that make a country respect human rights. What are the cultural conditions that make citizens aware of rights. So my research in Chile, Guatemala, and Mexico is actually interesting because these are very different countries and in which victims face very different experiences. So what I've been teaching is research methods for ICJ students, and it has been a very interesting experience because I'm pushing them to design a research proposal, which is a weird experiment because you have to make them think how would they answer a question, but they don't actually answer it. The experience has been interesting because I also make them do a lot of hands-on assignments. They have to conduct an interview to try to gather some preliminary evidence. They also have to conduct a survey, small survey, but I'm a very hands-on person, and I think people benefit by actually doing stuff. In my class, when we are, learning methods, you will actually be doing methods, so you will be practicing a lot. So I think most of them enjoyed it, even though they recognize that it's more difficult to actually do it and do it properly than it really sounds when you're reading in a textbook. For people interested in the more international aspect of justice, I think John Jay is starting to bring very interesting faculty that have experience both doing research or because, as myself, we're foreigners, so we bring these perspectives in terms of doing comparative research and doing international research. And I think that really provides students with a unique learning environment that enriches their experience here in ways that I don't think a lot of universities or colleges offer. I'm moving a little bit away from victims' rights, trying to see how the interaction between victims' rights and now the role that the Office of the Public Prosecutor has. So I'm trying to see how the design, when the state designs a prosecutorial office, if they're putting this office as an autonomous or office or within the judiciary, or if it's dependent on the executive, when you're making those decisions, when you're building your state, how does that impact how the state responds to horrible crimes like human rights crimes? From my fieldwork, I think that, and we know already, research has shown that judicial independence is important. So that's where my research is trying to move now, and trying to understand better the diversity that we have in Latin America in terms of fighting for justice for past abuses.